Moving on to the next speaker, we have Ms. Kanchan Prasad Manlos, who is currently working as the Additional Director General for reporting for West Asia in All India Radio and Doordarshan News. She has also worked as Director Reporting in Sri Lanka and has covered the last phase of the LTTE war. She was the only electronic international media to get access to the war zone till the last day of the war. She has had the privilege to work as a Chief Information Officer and the spokesperson for CBI for 2 years and has been awarded by Government of India for her exemplary work during her stint in Sri Lanka. So, Ms. Kanchan Prasad, do you want to add on anything?
Thank you, Kushagra. I'm absolutely happy to be here. And it has been a pleasure listening to Mr. Sridhar and Mr. Nitin Agarwal. And building on whatever they have said, I would like to say that this is indeed a very ironical time that we are talking about social networking at a time when everybody is talking about social distancing. But trust me, whichever way the world returns to, whatever the new normal may be post COVID, networking is here to stay in one form or the other. So, as the speakers before me were talking about it, that networking is something which we often, it's such an often used word. And before the days that we went into quarantine, the term and the social distancing term came into practice. Dinners and parties and meeting each other were the normal norms which used to facilitate networking. But even in post COVID, as I said, whatever the new normal is, networking is here to stay. And the networking thing is continuously expanding, even in the COVID area. And more than ever, we realize that this network has come as a source of strength, even while we are staying quarantined or isolated at our own places. But to say, how are we so connected in a world when everybody is staying isolated at their own places? If I can tell you, and to build on what Mr. Sridhar said, that it is a life skill, I would certainly say it is a very, very important life skill and a soft skill which is not taught in schools and colleges, but it is very, very essential to learn. Now, networking, one can say, starts very, very early in life. As early as Mr. Sridhar says, we were play buddies, we were in school, and later in college. If you see, many of these friends, though we may call them as network friends, they are actually friends and they have stayed on because you have kind of built a relationship with them over the years. So, and networking is just not limited to people, it is also related to organizations. As both the speakers before me, they said they have worked for a company called BNI. So for me, I have worked in many other organizations. So the moment you say, and we have studied in various colleges and institutes, the moment I say, okay, I'm from JNU, somebody said, oh, I'm also from JNU. And that camaraderie helps even if we do not know each other personally. So that is a very, very important point. So people's previous contacts are hugely beneficial, not only when you work, but in your personal lives as well. Sometimes many of these professional contacts merge and become part of your personal network. So in business, as we say, it is not all about who you know. It is very, very important as to how you connect with them and how you network with them. It is not simply about exchanging business cards. Business cards, we get plenty a day. You may forget it. In fact, to tell you very honestly, I have put in 29 years of service and not even once have I had a business card because I genuinely believe that people who want to know me will get to know me whether or not without the business card. And if people who do not want to know me, if they think that I'm not important, even with the business card, it doesn't help. So it is very important to kind of build a relationship with the people whom you want to network. And the most important thing where it comes is listening to other people and taking interest in people with whom you want to connect. So, first thing I would advise is whenever you're trying to network, be a good listener. Never ever fake listening, because the other people will get to know whether through your body language, which is very important. It's a non-verbal way of communication. So it's very, very important that you are genuinely interested when you are talking to the person whom you want to network with. Make a genuine and an honest conversation, and you should come across, as Mr. Nitin said, that a person whom others can depend on, be a trustworthy person. Make an eye contact while speaking. Now, these are very general things, but it's a very important tip. Smile, because that brings energy to the conversation. It also means that you're open to becoming friends. And these are some of the ways of kind of interaction. And while through the interaction, you will also realize that on the way, while you're making a genuine conversation, you'll realize whether that person, if you're actually want to network for your business purpose, whether that person is useful or not. And then you decide whether you want to connect with that person because of your business things, or just because he is a very nice or a genuine person. But the next very step is, people think that once you meet a person, you exchange business cards, it's over. No, the next very important step is to you get on to the follow up. And for the next time, you can just talk to him, not only for work, but just like that. Because every time, if you meet people only for work, then it becomes a strain on the relationship. So it's very important that you follow up on these personal contacts and relationship, and build a little genuine connection, and the connection which comes from heart. And as both the speakers rightly before me, they said that, a single individual can build a very, very effective professional network by utilizing basic communication skill and establishing successful business relationships. So, Kushagra, that's all that I had to add. If you have anything to ask me, please do let me know.
Well, thank you very much for that. Um, I believe we have covered almost everything that we really needed to know. However, our viewers, they had submitted some questions which we would like to ask right now. So, as compared to the other speakers, you're working in a
Please.
field which is yes, as compared to the other speakers, you're working in a field which is drastically different from what they are, what they do really. So, one of our viewers was asking, how has your networking method changed over the years as technology has developed, and even your personal methods of networking from when you began to right now, how has it changed along the way and how has it contributed to your growth?
Kushagra, networking does not change. The methods of networking may change, but networking by itself doesn't change. I told you it all depends on the relationship that you build over the years. I'll give you an example. Like, I was posted in the northeastern part of India, and it is considered one of the tough postings as far as government of India goes. So while I was posted in the northeast, we I used to go for my evening walks and for my evening play. So there I used to meet the inspector general of the region, and we used to converse and talk. And the 3 years that we both were posted there, we kind of created a bond, and then we went on postings on different ways. Years later, I came back to Doordarshan as the director news, and he was then the commissioner of police in Delhi. And the famous Nirbhaya case happened. And that was the time when people wanted to genuinely know. The entire India had erupted in emotions, and everyone wanted to know as to how, what is the government doing, what is the police doing. Just because I had known the commissioner of police while I was a young officer, it helped to get the right input, right information at the right time. And because Doordarshan is a public service broadcaster, we could give timely and right information, which helped. And this very recent example I'll give you. It's again, as Mr. Nitin said, we the elevator kind of a contact. So the lady who used to help for me, used to cook for me in India, while she got in touch with me recently, and she said that very recently she's lost her husband, and she's finding it very difficult during the lockdown to get food, etc., for herself, the dry rations that she wanted. So I got in touch with an old colleague of mine whom I had kind of worked almost 25 years ago, and now he's left the government also. So I got in touch with him because I knew somewhere that he was working with the Delhi government as a volunteer. So I got in touch with him and I told him that, can you please help her? She's in Delhi. This is her phone number. He immediately got in touch with her just because of her old network connection. And he helped her, and she got her dry rations, and she was immensely happy. And I got the satisfaction that I could help someone through my network, even while sitting in UAE. So that's how the nature of the communication may change, but the network relationship that you build, they do not change, Kushagra.
I had one of the questions. You mentioned a lot about networking doesn't change, but networking methods do. So, what networking methods should students, for example, my age college going students, should adopt to at this stage? And what do you think of social media as a networking tool?
Gautam, as students, we really need to be honest and build good buddies, because they are the friends who are there for the rest of your life. Whether you become the CEO or you don't become the CEO, it doesn't matter to them. They will be there in any case. If you need them professionally, they will be there. If you do not need them professionally, only need them emotionally, they will be there. The second question that you asked was, how has social networking or the social networks have helped in increasing this networks? Now, today only I read that Twitter is holding a network session with major speakers, and it was called Quitter. So that was a new word that I heard, and that was quite interesting. So even in times of this, see, Twitter is such a powerful tool, and even if you do not know the person, you can access that person, and that person only has to know that you're in need or in help. Sometimes it works in good ways, sometimes it doesn't work in good ways. But at this time of lockdown, there are people who have become so useful. People I would like to mention, like Mr. Bothra, Arun Bothra, who's doing a tremendous work. Somebody's child needed camel milk in Maharashtra somewhere, and he in Rajasthan somewhere, and he's sitting in Orissa. He kind of helped out because she was trying to reach out to people, and he read the message somewhere, and he helped. So now this woman will never forget Mr. Bothra's help. You
Mm-hmm.
see how people network. So you have to use the tool imaginatively and for the public good and for the larger good, and you'll always be successful.
Thanks a lot, Ms. Kanchan. That has answered, that was a really good answer and it was really informative. Does any of the other speakers have any other questions?
I would only like to add on to what Ms. Kanchan said. Social network is more of a means of communication.
Mm-hmm.
It's about keeping your network alive. I mean, the first Zoom meeting I had was with my MBA college buddies, whom we have not met for the last 20 years. The first Zoom meeting was with them. We were all excited to see each other. But very few of us will talk to random strangers unless we know they're established people. Yeah. The case which Ms. Kanchan mentioned about somebody helping a person in need, that's the generosity part of people's givers gain. Yeah. So acts of kindness, social media is a great tool. But to develop a network, you still need to talk to people. The irony of the current generation or situation is we are more happy talking to somebody on Facebook or on Twitter than spending more time of memories with people sitting next to us. So I would say, Very interestingly, very recently in December, I had a 25-year reunion with the people of my school. So I studied in a boarding school, and we had a 25-year reunion. Believe you me, all the conversation was with the classes we had bunked, the sessions we had organized, the midterms we had gone to. Not a single one of us discussed who you are, where you are, and what are you doing today. Those were all irrelevant conversations. It was the memories and the moments we had lived together, which we cherished together 25 years later. Yeah. So build memories, because that's what you're going to share on social media tomorrow.
Very well said.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. In fact, to add on to what you're saying, that the best networking comes from genuine relationship, not a business card exchange. No matter whom you're trying to build a relationship with, treat that person as a friend rather than a business contact, and that will further your relationship. Yes, we need to talk, certainly, and think about how you would approach a potential friend. Find something which you have common with. Keep it light, make it easy, joke around, show that you care. Don't get into that networking game. Connect to make contacts. Connect to make contacts, but to make friends, not just business contacts.
Mr. Sridhar, do you want to add anything to this?
Actually, not much. I think both the eminent speakers, along with me, have added a lot of important points. Only that if you broadly categorize, there are two types of people in the world. One who are highly transactional, they only know about how to sell, me. And then others who are always relational, which is they go about helping people, building relationship. When they talk a lot and immediately become friends with people. So the irony is the people who are transactional find it tough building relationship, and the people who are relational find it tough bringing business talk, and they feel like they are using their contacts if they have to ask for help. So the irony is, broadly, these are the two types of people in the world. A very small segment of people know the right balance, how to build strong relationship and seek out help if they need at any time, and because they have been helping them all the time and building strong relationship. So there is a very small segment who know really how to balance it out. So I would just say that building relationship is like dropping some money in your bank account. You cannot withdraw from an empty bank account. So the day you need something, a help, a favor, you can only withdraw from that bank account if you had deposited something in it. So don't think about when or what help you need. Just go about dropping those coins in the bank account, building those relationships, because there could be a point in time where you're driven to ask for help. You'll be able to strongly go to those people, and only those people whom you have helped a lot. So a very clear metaphor of keep dropping those coins in the piggy bank. The day you need, you can open and withdraw, if at all you need. If you have not been dropping those coins, you cannot withdraw from an empty bank account.
Absolutely. That's what Paulo Coelho says. Make a favor bank.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Sridhar, you just mentioned that there are two kinds of people, one who are always me, and the other who give it to others. Don't you feel both of these kind of people are important for your network? For someone to have a good network, don't you feel both of these kind of people should be there?
Well, if both are there and do not understand the balance, they will be only both of them hanging around similar type of people. So that's why I mentioned that it is very important to know the balance, when to really, end of the day, the me will keep on moving from network to network. because they will find that their objective is not being met. It's only the people who are able to keep on dropping those coins in the piggy bank, like building relationship, can, will be there. And the only thing is, the skill that they need to know is not feel shy in asking for help when they need. That's one big challenge as entrepreneurs people face, is they think they can solve all the problems themselves. No, if you have built a strong relationship and you have people of varied skills in your network, reach out to them and seek help, so that your life and your journey and your achieving your goals become much easier. That's
Thank
where the African proverb comes in of, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others.
you. We'll definitely keep that proverb in mind.
That was truly informative, Mr. Sridhar. And with that being said, we'd like to now sign off. If anyone in the audience wants to ask anything or add on anything to this discussion, or even just give normal feedback, you can hit us up on our website, catchups.today. You can also follow us on our Instagram at catch.ups and on Facebook and YouTube with the same name. And we hope to see you next time.